Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another tier list, and today is Austria. Um, is the country that we're gonna review or rank the songs from. And I was kind of just considering how am I gonna do Austria, because there are so many songs that have participated in Eurovision for Austria. Of course, they missed out a few times because of non-qualifications, like back in the 90s. And also they left for a little period in the mid 2000s, or like around the 2010 period. But in general, there are a lot of songs to go through for Austria. So I kind of decided, since I've done like ranking lists on my channel before, I've ranked all of the years back to 1993. So I'm thinking, let's go from 1993 until today, 2022, and we'll just use the songs that I participated during those years. And then if I ever get around to it, I might rank the songs before it as well, but well, we'll see what happens with that. But I kind of think that 1993 is a good year as well to start from, because I think 1993 is the first of the stronger years in the 90s. I think that the years that preceded 1993 aren't really that great, and I'm not a big fan of like the 70s Eurovision is definitely not my thing. 80s Eurovision has some gems in there, but it's not really my thing either. Um, so I think 1993 up until today is like my golden period of Eurovision, I guess, with a few miss years here and there. But that's my reason, simply enough, for starting on 1993 and moving until today. So we have, I don't know how many songs these are, because as I said, they missed out a few times. But the max that you can have if you go from 1993 to today is obviously 30 songs. So I believe Sweden would have 30 songs if I were to rank Sweden now. But I'm not. Austria. There are a lot of songs here, so we're just gonna get right into it. 7 categories. If you want to know what they all mean, you can watch any of the 3 tier list rankings I've made before this one. Okay, first up, we have Maria Magdalena from 1993. This is a really fun song, I think. It's one of these just energetic packages of just pure fun and entertainment. I would put it in solid, but I think it's actually really great. It always manages to put a smile on my face. It has a little bit of a repetitive quality to it, but at the same time, I just really get dragged into it and how upbeat and energetic it is. And it just really speaks to me in that way, and I always enjoy it when I listen to it, so I have to put it up here. It's a well put together song and just really enjoyable, so it's gonna be up here. But something that is not gonna be up there is, oh, I don't remember the name of the song. It's like Frieden der Welt or something like that. It's a ballad about peace, and already I can imagine that most of you just imagine, if you haven't heard the song before, you already know exactly what it sounds like. This is a not for me. I get straight up really bored listening to it. It's also in 1994, which is a really ballad heavy year, and there are so many ballads which are so much better than this one, and this one kind of comes towards the end of the whole running order as well, and you just feel like this has to be over soon. And I think the results that came in the end of the show as well kind of reflect that opinion, because this just gets lost. This just gets lost among all the other songs, and there's really nothing in particular that I'm quite fond of here, so it's gonna be down here. 1995. It's a fun song. 1995 is such a strong year, so it's always really difficult to compare this one to others, but I think it's a solid effort from Austria here. I'm loving the saxophone inputs. The song is really, upbeat and joyous in a sense, but at the same time, it doesn't really have that additional quality that just pushes it over the line and makes it into one of the better songs from that year. I really don't think so. I enjoy the happiness of it and just the whole vibe that it tries to transmit, but it's not really catchy enough for me to really get dragged into it, and it's not really energetic enough, I think, for it to really just completely take over what we're seeing. But it's a fun song, it's a fun entry, it goes on for 3 minutes and you have a good time, and then it's over, pretty much. 1996 is like an evolution to that 95 effort. This one, I'm not gonna bother trying to pronounce the song title. It's really confusing, but it's so much fun. Really energetic, really high energy all the way throughout. A bit catchy as well, and I'm just loving the incorporation of the backing vocalists. This guy is sitting on his piano, going all in, and then the backing vocalists just add so much charm to it. How they kind of call response technique throughout the song, and the song is just tons of energy. As I've said, it's so much fun. Just 3 minutes goes by like that, and love it. Really do. No, we're gonna put it here. I just realized, like, what other songs have I put up here, and it's not. It could have definitely been up there. I would understand if someone wanted to be here, but for my personal taste, I think it's good enough down here. 1997, they had a song called One Step, and then it goes one step forward und zwei zurück, and that's the only line from this song that I remember. This is not. No. It has that one catchy line throughout the whole song, and then the rest of it is not really my thing. It's this danceable little thing, and it tries to be a bit tongue-in-cheek and just kind of catchy, but the song as a whole in 3 minutes, no, it's not interesting or engaging enough. I think it's just that one line with the choreography of her sliding backwards as well that I get kind of imprinted in my mind, but then everything else, no. If it's any condolence or solace, I'll put it in front of this one. But yeah, that's all. Reflection, 1999. So yeah, 1998 they missed out here, as we can see. I guess it's because they finished low with this one and then weren't allowed to participate in 98. But 99 they came back and they did pretty well. This is a solid song, I think. It's not really great. It's just a nice little pop song with a like late 90s sound to it. It's cute, it's kind of harmless, I guess, mostly, and just solid, I would say. I don't really have much else to say about it. It's just solid. In 2000, I don't remember what this song is called, but it's kind of catchy, but at the same time, I don't really click with it. I think it's an I like it, but because I think there are some qualities in it that are really nice. I like them on stage. They have a very nice chemistry together, and they're also very charismatic, and it shows through the screen. And the song is, upbeat enough, but then it just kind of goes on, and there are other things that you kind of prefer from the selection, and yeah, I'll put it down here. I don't think it's on par with these two down here, but I don't think it's on par with these two either, so I'll just put it in between them. And it's gonna have some company from 2002 here, Say a Word. This is probably the most repetitive song in Eurovision for a very long time. It might not be the most repetitive one ever, but it's certainly up there. The line "Say a word and I'll be there" has to be repeated like 20 times, surely. Which is a shame, because I think there is a good song down here somewhere. And it is a catchy hook, so I'll give them that, but you don't need to over-rely on it. There needs to be variation, there needs to be something else going on. This one just goes on and on and on, and you get really tired of the same line being repeated way too much. I have to put it here. Yeah, nothing else can be said about it, honestly. A lot can be said about Alf Poyer down here. I don't remember what his song is called. It's always these German titles, they're always too long. But Alf Poyer, 2003, finished 6th somehow. This is one of these songs that, yeah, probably belongs down here. I have no idea what goes on in this song. The cutout animals standing behind him and the two backing singers doing some odd dance while he's just going completely mental in the center. It's all so freaking absurd, but there's still a little bit of charm in it, I think, somewhere. So where should I put it? I don't even know. Like this one, you could put it anywhere if you want to. Like, if you want to put it in among the greatest, I understand why, because it's just so absurd. But you kind of also have to question what happened here, because who came up with everything that goes on here? Is it supposed to be kind of a like a revolt of some sort. We just send this because we don't care. I don't know. I think he belongs in this category. It's not necessarily that I think his song is the worst. It probably is one of the worst, but there's just so much charm to it as well. It's kind of like with Germany and the Gildo hat euch lieb, but that one is a bit like less, I don't know what you say, offensive. That's probably not the right word, but this one, it's just his persona as well that goes with this, and you just think like something went wrong somewhere here. But they got a good result out of it, so don't mind me putting you down here. But it's odd. It is. And then you go from like this thing to the most harmless thing I've ever seen in my life. Du bist, by a Austrian boy band singing in German. 3 guys, they sing okay. The song is okay, but it's so forgettable. Okay, I'll put it next to Say a Word. Maybe I'm really generous with these. Like, these could easily be down here, to be honest. But yeah, it's a bit cute. It's a bit just nice in the background, but at the same time, it's so forgettable, and I always forget about this song. And I always forget about the fact that it was in the final. This sounds like such a non-qualifier, but of course, different rules back then. Still, I like parts of it. It's a bit cute, and it's also like a bit catchy. Like, I think the chorus has a melody in there, but overall, just underwhelming. 2005. Yeah, see. This has to be in the same category, but for a completely different reason. I love the ideas that they've thrown on here. It's just that the execution became a little bit too all over the place. But I think there's so much charm in this song. There's something in it that is just so happy and carefree and just, charming. I really enjoy watching it, and I really enjoy listening to it, but I would never consider it to be, one of these songs that you really have to listen to. No, and I wouldn't really consider it solid on par with these songs either. It's just charming, it's cute, and I like it for those reasons. Then we have Get a Life. This is a song that I really have to be honest, I've heard like twice. It's not really a song that ever catches my attention. Every time I listen to it, I kind of feel like there's a lot of, dominant guitars in it. It sounds like a rock song that I could actually vibe with. But whenever I listen to it, I just feel like, it's not really for me. And I can't really expand on that further. I think it's a bit just flat in that sense, which is weird because there's so much drive in it. Just doesn't click with me though. But if there's someone out there who it clicks with, that's awesome, because it's a bit of a shame. I think it got like 1 point or something. So it's not that bad. It's not Alf Poyer bad. I don't know what I'm saying. Alf Poyer wasn't bad, was he? I don't know. Austria is such a weird country in Eurovision, I swear. Sometimes they send these really over-the-top things, and sometimes they send Du bist. Yeah. 2011, their comeback. So they were out for a long time here. 2008, 9, and 10. They weren't competing. 11, they came back. They got carried by the juries with what I would only consider to be a solid song. It's a pretty ballad. It's very well sung, very well performed with the a cappella opening, but just doesn't really catch my attention enough, and I have to put it here. It's solid. Something that isn't solid, Voki mittain pupu. I'm sorry, Alf, that you have to share the like, what did you say, the tier with this, because this is just dreadful. It's one of the worst songs that we've had in Eurovision, in my opinion. It's a little bit catchy, but it's also just at the same time so horrendous. I can't get behind this song. Production quality of it's terrible. Melody is almost non-existent. It's just there because I guess it has energy. It has some kind of engagement with the audience as well. It's I guess a little bit fun, but no. Just no. Austria don't really have a lot of songs that I'm really super fond of, I notice now. Shine, though. This is really great. I think so. A comeback for Austria here, really, that just... they've had a rough period up until this point, from 96 up until 2013. But this one I really think is really great. It's not the most incredible stage performance or anything like that, but the song that's there is definitely good enough to have qualified for the final that year. I can't believe it didn't. And I think it's just memorable. It's just a nicely well written song that you could put on at any time and not be bored of or not really want to skip. And I think it's just really great, like the whole package of it that it has, and it's a good song. So I'll have to put it up here. I think it's way better than these. So yeah, Shine will be here. Now something that we'll have to put it here. I don't think this is one of the greatest songs of all time in Eurovision, but it's a fantastic entry, really, and they got a deserved result. I really think so. I have other favorites from 2014, but this is such a great winner. It is such a hard hitting and bombastic song that really just steals the spotlight from the first second to the final note. It's fantastic. It really is. And if you put it up here, I will have no qualms with it. If you put it here, I will have no qualms with it. Any lower, and I'm starting to doubt it. But I really think this is a fantastic song from the songwriting perspective, and it's also really well performed and well staged. And it's just, there is nothing you can do to improve it, I think. So it's fantastic for me. They followed up that win with getting 0 points, which is honestly absurd. I'm Yours. It's solid, I'd say. Yeah, it's solid. It's not really great. This is a solid entry. I really like the instrumentation of it. I think that's my favorite part. It sounds very, what do you say, like very vintage. And I'm liking the piano arrangement. I'm liking the chords that move throughout the song. So there's also a hook that is actually pretty memorable to me. And I like the stage layout as well. They look so inviting, and it looks a bit, just casually hanging out, playing music, doing what you love. And I'm just loving that aspect of it. So solid entry, could definitely be up here, but I don't really think it's that engaging to really reach up to these heights. And I'm starting to doubt. I'm just thinking the other rankings I've made, like Shine. I'm gonna move it down. Sorry. It could easily be up here, but I think this one and this one are kind of on the same level, so I'll have to put them up here. I think these two are the strongest in this category so far, though. But yeah, this is how it's gonna be. Sorry. 2016, Luan DC. This is probably up here for me. I'm loving the world building of this song. I think that's its main selling point, and just how it's performed as well to really go hand in hand with that concept. It's such a unique song, both songwriting wise and also kind of progression wise, arrangement wise. The instrumentation is really cool. I'm liking how energetic the drumming constantly is, and the melody is so charming to a sense, and it just goes along with the language so well as well. That yeah, just a fantastic effort from Austria, really. It could be placed here, but I really just think this one deserves to be up here because it's so unique and so out there. And I think that should really be highlighted. So yeah, Luan DC, fantastic for me. Running on Air. No, this is solid as well. It's kind of harmless. It's a bit, it's charming. It's a good song, well written, well produced, very well performed. I'm liking the stage layout. I'm also liking the whole concept of the song. I think the melody is really nice. But it just never really goes the extra mile to really just hook me. So I'll just have to put it here. It's too harmless and too middle of the road for me to put it in really great. These two songs really should be highlighted, how that there's something else, Something which is definitely something else. Nobody But You, fantastic, so well performed. First time I heard the song, I really just considered it to be like between these two categories here. Solid, could even be really great because it just has a really great tone to it. I'm liking the instrumentation. I think the production quality is lacking a little bit. It's not really as hard hitting as I want it to be, but when you see it live, all of that just disappears. The layout on stage, the lighting, him being a flawless performer, it's just fantastic. I have nothing else to say about it. It really just shot up in my personal ranking after seeing it live as well. yeah, perfect package, really. Well-deserved third place in my opinion. Maybe that's a bit controversial. It's such a strong year, so maybe I wouldn't really put it third myself, but I'm completely fine with it finishing that high. 2019. There's so many songs. Limits. This one kind of goes hand in hand with the 94 effort here. This is just not for me. Completely underwhelming, completely, what do you say, like, yeah, underwhelming, and something that I never remember having seen or heard ever. The song is too minimalistic. It never really has any type of progression. It really tries to rely on the minimalistic and restrained approach. And it doesn't work to its favor, in my opinion, because it just becomes slightly too dragged out and slightly too monotonous because of it. Not for me. Has to be down here with the 94 effort, because, yeah. Now here, Vincent Bueno, Alive. This is a really great one, I think. Do I think that? I think that. This is a lot of energy. I'm loving the variation throughout the song. It has this opening which is really kind of more dramatic in a sense, and then it swaps up with these funky bass lines joining in. It's also really energetic in the choruses, and I'm loving like the B sections of every chorus, because it really just adds that variation and makes the song keep going. And I think that's really highlighted. Would have loved to see this one being performed at Eurovision, more so than the second effort, which we're going to drag in right away. This is solid for me. The song is not really what I'm vibing with in this case. This one is much more vibier. This one is just much more enjoyable. This isn't really the same approach that they've taken here. Amen is more kind of hard-hitting in a dramatic sense, I guess, or in a ballady type of way. It's a pop ballad. It's well put together, but it just falls flat because it doesn't really have that additional little hook that really just drags you into the song. What I do think works in its favor, though, is the live performance. I love the stage layout. I think he's fantastic on stage, but I can't bump it up all the way up here. His previous, like the effort in 2020 is superior in my opinion. So I'll just leave it down here in solid. I was actually cheering for it to qualify back in 2021, but just missed out. 2022, we all know what I think of this song, I guess, already. This is not for me. I can't click with this song. I'm an EDM lover, trust me, but the EDM has to kind of feel like it has a purpose. It has to be really well produced. This one is well produced, it really is, but it also needs to have variety. It needs to be dynamic. All of these things are just missing from this song for me. And when you saw it live, when it was performed, everything just kind of fell apart, and it made me like kind of reach this stance even more. Perhaps studio cut, I could have put it up here because I like the energy of it, and I like the bridge sections of the song. I think the melody there is really strong. But then I kind of feel like the monotonous aspects of the song and the repetitive aspects of it and the structural issues I also have with it would drag it down. And I just have to place it down here. I can't put it any higher. But I know other people out there love it. So for you, you can put it higher if you want to. And maybe that will be a difference from our lists if we compare them. But yeah, that has been ranking, what could it be, like 25 songs at least from Austria from the years 1993 to 2022. And this is the list I came up with. I bet you disagree with a bunch of it, so do tell me what you would change on the list. Keep in mind that Alf Poya, we could put him up here if we want to. I'm not going to do that though. He belongs down here with Voki Mittain Pupu. Just a perfect match, these two, really. But yeah, this is my list. We'll see when the next one comes up. It's Azerbaijan next, so I'll try and do that one soon as well. And thank you so much for watching this one, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves until then, and bye-bye.